Now, for some weeks, if you have been in the world of F1, you would have been hit with a constant news about budget cap, cost cap, budget cap, cost cap. And you go, what is budget cap? Recently, it was found out that the Red Bull team had breached the F1 budget cap of last season, 2021. And I saw there were rumors going on about Red Bull being stripped of the F1 title of last season, and the title will go to our very own Lewis Hamilton of Mercedes. But in recent news, we've discovered that that's totally not true, because Red Bull are only breached the budget by less than 5%. So as such, it might not be enough for the FIA to strip them of the title, but we're still here to see what the FIA are. We fully decide on that. But for now, let's talk about what is F1's budget cap or cost cap. Well, if you are familiar with football or the Premier League, you will know about what we call the FFP, the body that is in charge of dealing with teams who breach their expenses or who spend more than they earn. Now in Formula One, we also have that similar, and in this one is the budget cap, and it's a measure put in place by the FIA, to ensure that all teams are treated fairly. No one has an unfair advantage over the other. So as such, in 2021, the FIA announced we're going to implement a new cost cap in the sport, a budget that teams must stick to or face punishment if they break. The newly introduced cost cap is just there in the sport now to make it more sustainable, balanced, and competitive in equal measure, like I said before. But note that it won't completely close the gap, because top teams like Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes, they are definitely always going to be more superior to lower teams such as Haas and Williams. But it helps to make sure that domination by a single team in the sport will be a little bit harder than normally. In 2021, the F1 cost cap was set at $145 million, which was a fairly low sum, considering that the biggest team in the sport were reportedly spending close to $400 million previously. Well, that's $145 million sizable gap away from the original plan to have the cap set at $175 million in 2021. But the figure was drastically reduced due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. That time it was really difficult for teams to really spend money. A lot of layoffs had to go down, not even in Formula One, but throughout the world. We remember the year of COVID, it was not nice. But this is in 2022. The budget was originally lowered to $140 million, though due to inflation and prices rising worldwide now, it was adjusted in line. And currently, the 2023 cost cap is set at $135 million for next season. But however, given inflation and everything, it might be slightly adjusted. So prepare for that. Now, what does the cost cap apply? As you can imagine, in a sport that is so technical, such as Formula One, cost cap covers a wide array of different expenditures, where some of them include anything that's related to car performance. So that includes any car parts, any equipment needed to run the cars, most of the team personnel, any garage equipment, plus spares, and any transport cost. That's what the F1 cost cap covers. However, the driver's wages do not fall under the cost cap. Neither do the wages of the team's 3 highest paid members of staff, because that, definitely that will be, everybody's money is a bit different, so it's going to be based on the team. Some of the other areas that the cost cap does not include are travel budgets, the marketing spend, legal and property costs, employee bonuses, sick leave and staff medical benefits, and other staff-related costings. Those are different. They don't fall under the F1 cost cap. Recently, the FIA announced that Red Bull had breached the 2021 cost cap, and that's what they were investigating. But the truth is that the details have not really been, put forward by the FIA Red Bull as of now, and those details are likely to become public knowledge in the coming weeks. So we have to wait and see what is the in-story behind all this. And it's also important to mention that the Austrian energy drink team will lodge an appeal against the rulings, which will make everything even become more slow. So it means we won't get the real information till much later down the year. But Red Bull, however, have since published a response on their social media in which they note the findings by the FIA with surprise and disappointment, as we expect. They additionally claim that they believe that they had operated within the cost cap regulations during the 2021 season. Now let's see what happens to the teams that break the rules for the cost cap, given that the cap has only been in place since the beginning of the 2021 Formula One season. We are still yet to see any example of previous punishments dished out by the FIA to teams that have broken the cap rules. However, the FIA has set out potential punishments. The punishment depends on whether a team's breach of the financial regulations were are minor or material. Minor breach, which means that a team has spent 5% or less additionally over the cost cap, can be dealt with by way of public reprimand, a points deduction in both the constructors or drivers championship, suspension from races, a limit on future aerodynamic testing, or a reduction in cost cap the following year. However, a material breach carries the same potential punishment plus the potential exclusion of teams from the sport for that season, and also what we heard, stripping of the title. I don't know what the final decision of the FIA will be towards Red Bull. People are asking if Max Verstappen will strip off his 2021 title. Well, that's very unlikely, given that the FIA has already said that Red Bull's breach was classed as minor, with the full success pending sitting in the FIA's minor breach territory after the initial report. It's far more likely that the team themselves will face punishment by order of a heavy fine in the near future, and that decision is unlikely to appease F1 fans overall. We all know where we stand. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. I'm currently working on a new video that is going to be talking about how drivers can exceed track limits. For the experienced fans, they will know that that's nearly impossible to do without getting caught. But let us see if you can do it without getting caught. So in order to find out, please like and subscribe. Thank you.